Prime Minister is exuding confidence. People say from one day to the next, his body language changed after Haryana victory. But Maharashtra is also important, not because it has 48 Lok Sabha seats and is, as you say, the second largest state in the country. Because whoever wins nationally, it will get a psychological advantage at the national plane politically.
How important is Congress right now?
What is very interesting to watch, and will be very interesting to watch, is how the Congress party and the MVA do not repeat the mistakes they made in Haryana.
Hello and welcome back to the Indian Express's Explainer, where we deep dive into politics with our experts. And today we are diving into the complex and intriguing political landscape of Maharashtra as the state gears up for its assembly elections on November 20th. And I have with me Neerja Chowdhury, contributing editor at the Indian Express, with me once again in this episode. So Neerja ma'am, all eyes are on Maharashtra today, which is due to go to polls on November 20th. Maharashtra is important, not only because it is the country's second largest state, but also because it was responsible, along with UP, for robbing the Bharatiya Janata Party of a clear majority in the recently held Lok Sabha elections. My first question to you is, how does the outcome matter? And why is this election so crucial for Mahayuti and MVA?
As you're absolutely right, all eyes are on Maharashtra today. Even before the Haryana elections and the elections to the J&K Assembly, people's interest was really Maharashtra. How would Maharashtra vote? And of course, after Haryana, all the more reason why people are looking at Maharashtra, because Haryana very unexpectedly has gone the BJP way, and the BJP is in the saddle for a third term. And this was not expected. So, of course, it has given new heart to the BJP workers. They are enthused. It's a different language, as I've written. The Prime Minister is exuding confidence. People say from one day to the next, his body language changed after Haryana victory. And of course, the leadership of the BJP is better positioned to bargain hard with its allies in Maharashtra. And Congress, conversely, has weakened. His position has weakened. Suppose it had won Haryana, then it would have been in a very strong position to bargain with its allies, which is Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena and Sharad Pawar's NCP. But that is not the way things have panned out. But Maharashtra is also important, not because it has 48 Lok Sabha seats and is, as you say, the second largest state in the country. Also, not only because, it is the financial capital of the country and there is money. And money part does matter when it comes to political influence. So both sides are eyeing Maharashtra also from that point of view. But I think it's also very important at the moment, at this juncture, because whoever wins nationally, it will get a psychological advantage at the national plane politically. If the BJP wins, it will show that the Lok Sabha setback that they had, not making it as a majority party, that is a thing of the past now. They're back in business. They're on the upswing. If the MVA wins, which the Congress-led MVA, Mahavikas Aghadi wins, then they will show Haryana is not so important. It'll get wiped out. And what the 99 seats in the Lok Sabha suddenly will come to the fore again. So from that point of view, setting that tone, tenor of things at the national scale, politically, Maharashtra becomes supremely important. Now, so that is what you were asking. Yes, I'll stop here.
Yes. Ma'am, talk to me about the Mahayuti and the Mahavikas Aghadi, because we know that these two coalitions came together very recently after the split that happened in Shiv Sena and the NCP, right? And it was a big blow to Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar, both of them. How are the two placed right now, Mahayuti and MVA? What is the sense that you're making at this point in time?
Look, the Mahavikas Aghadi MVA had a head start simply because in the recent Lok Sabha election, just a few months ago, they got as many as 30 Lok Sabha seats out of 48. And the BJP was reduced to 17 and one going to an independent. Now, that being the case, will that get translated into Vidhan Sabha seats, which it should, normally speaking, because the elections are coming very close after the Lok Sabha polls. Uh, so MVA is seen to be on the front foot, seems to have an edge. But it is also true that, as I said earlier, that the Haryana victory has given a new impetus to the BJP cadre, but also because they have brought in certain social welfare schemes
Okay.
in Maharashtra, which have resonance with the people.
Mhm.
And even just before the notification of the elections, the cabinet had met and made 36 decisions. Many of them were, sops to one community or another, included certain OBCs in the list of those reserved at the central list, and so on. Madarsa teachers getting salaries which had been heightened, and so on. There were many, many SOPs offered to different communities. But the one that has the greatest amount of traction is the one that they brought in, Mukhyamantri Majha Ladki Bahen Yojana, model on the Ladli Bahen Yojana of Madhya Pradesh, which had enabled the BJP to win in the elections there. And so it is a copy of that, and it enables women between 18 and 60 years to get 1,500 rupees per month.
Okay.
And that money has already reached women. And talking to people, I was talking to several people in Satara district, where they said most women have got 4,500 rupees, some have even got 7,500 rupees. So it is money already in their hands. So that is having traction. And the MVA is worried on that score. They realize, yes, the scene may not be what it was in the Lok Sabha election. However, the sympathy for them, and that that is a big factor also. That's a big question mark. The sympathy for Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena and Sharad Pawar's NCP, because the BJP had split their parties. And one wing of Shiv Sena headed by Eknath Shinde, who is the chief minister today, and the other by Ajit Pawar, Sharad Pawar's nephew, are part of the Mahayuti or the NDA in Maharashtra. Now, will the sympathy remain at the level that it was in the Lok Sabha elections? Do people vote again and again on the grounds of sympathy, or is it only once that they give expression to, and then it doesn't remain as potent, as effective a political weapon? So that is the question mark. Has the sympathy level gone down, or will it remain for the Mahavikasa Agadi at the level it was, and yielded them dividends in the Lok Sabha elections?
Interesting. So one is that you've said that the Haryana election results have given impetus to the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the second point is the schemes that they have rolled out in Maharashtra, specifically targeting the women, that has played a crucial role to gain popularity on the ground. So this is something that the Mahayuti is definitely banking on, and the newfound confidence, like you said, for Mahavikas Agadi. You said that the sympathy card is sort of the trump card for them, probably this elections. Can I ask you, Sanjay Raut recently, he gave out, because there's a seat sharing deadlock that's ongoing right now, and we are yet to see where are they going to arrive at. But the Sanjay Raut said that अब जनता कांग्रेस के नाम पे वोट नहीं करती है. How true is that? How important is Congress right now? And especially after the Haryana election loss, how do you see Congress fit in this election?
Look, there are several lessons the Congress must have learned,
Right.
after the Haryana defeat. Of course, this tussle that's going on that you referred to between the Congress and Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena, and Sanjay Raut represents it.
Right.
Normally, the tussle is on in every party. Even in Mahayuti, the tussle has been on, between the different parties. They're trying to sort it out in the last hours. And also in MVA. And that's a very natural phenomenon. The only discordant note, I would say, is that Sanjay Raut speaking up openly and publicly about it. Of course, the Shiv Sena led by Uddhav Thackeray, they want more seats in the Vidarbha region and in Marathwada, where the Congress feels the Congress is seen as its, domain. And therefore, that's where the tussle lies. The UBT Sena wants more seats and probably the maximum number of seats, and the Congress feels that it should also get a large number of seats. So they will, I think, resolve it. I don't see it coming to a break point. And as I say, it's always, in the last hours before the tickets are finalized, there is this positioning and hard bargaining that goes on in every party and every alliance. So I think it's part of that phenomenon. What is very interesting to watch, and will be very interesting to watch, is how the Congress Party and the MVA do not repeat the mistakes they made in Haryana. And one of them, the mistakes was to let the dominant party, which in the case of Haryana was the Jats, who are about 27%, create a backlash in others. And fear of the dominant Maratha getting others to scurry the other side and join hands, which is what I think happened in Haryana. And what is called the non-Jat consolidation of OBCs, Dalits, upper caste, urban voter, which all came together. And even though the Congress party won almost 40% of the seats, almost as much as the BJP had polled in terms of vote share, and also his vote share had gone up by 11% from the last time, which is no small number.
Right.
So despite that, they lost out to the BJP. It was very clever management of elections also, and a large number of independents put out there. And some of them were Congress rebels, also maybe fielded by Congress leaders, whatever. So those mistakes that a dominant Maratha, which has moved away from the BJP in recent times, does it create, of course, it will create a consolidation, Maratha versus OBC consolidation, but that it should not become a consolidation of everybody as opposed to the MVA, which is expected to get a large chunk of the Maratha votes. So I think all this is where the skills will come in, and also to retain the support of the Dalits. In Haryana, the Dalits were seen to have moved away. A chunk of Dalits had moved away from the Congress party. Will that happen here? I think not. Here, you have somebody like Sharad Pawar, who is probably the tallest leader in the MVA today, probably the tallest leader in Maharashtra, with great political savvy, a detailed knowledge of every single constituency, the leadership in those constituencies across party lines. And he's been there for decades, and and he's got political savvy. So I think, given that, I don't think they should make the kind of mistakes that were made in Haryana. But let's see. And many people think that, Sharad Pawar often comes up with trump cards. Does he have trump cards up his sleeve this time also, which he will reveal as time goes on? But one thing can be said with certainty, that in the Lok Sabha elections, they had a head start, a very clear, convincing victory. But in the Vidhan Sabha elections, given the fact, the caste lineups plus local issues, it is not going to be that kind of a runaway success. It is going to be much more of a tucker between both sides.
Okay. And the two big faces, Devendra Fadnavis and Uddhav Thackeray. We'll see Fadnavis versus Thackeray. Everyone is talking about each one of them individually and the space they want to acquire at the state level or at national level. You know, if you've talked about it in your report about Fadnavis's role, whether he wants to have the BJP national president's position, or is he going to be in Maharashtra playing the deputy chief minister's role, and Uddhav Thackeray also. Can you elaborate a little bit about how crucial is going to be this election for Devendra Fadnavis and Uddhav Thackeray?
Look, I think a crucial election for both. Uddhav Thackeray to start with, his CM-ship was taken away from him, and that is a great humiliation. And he would like to be CM in order to vindicate his honor. But the Maha Vikas Aghadi has not projected any CM candidate, has not, and the Congress feels we should see who gets the largest number of seats to be able to decide the issue of CM-ship. So that's where it rests now. Now, in the Lok Sabha elections, there was a lot of sympathy for Uddhav Thackeray. You know, that he's been stabbed in the back by Eknath Shinde and others who left the party, and that, you know, his handling of the COVID situation in Maharashtra was hailed by many people, even those who had been not followers of the Shiv Sena. They spoke, you know, glowingly about how he handled that difficult situation. So there was a lot of sympathy for him. Now that sympathy, I don't know whether that is seen today in the Vidhan Sabha. So it is a very critical election, also from the point of view that Eknath Shinde's breakaway Shiv Sena, its strike rate in the Lok Sabha was very good. It won 7 out of 15 seats. The strike rate of Uddhav Shiv Sena was not so good, not as good. So from that point of view also, who represents the real Shiv Sena? That is the tussle. And even though Uddhav carries the Thackeray name, so I think that also this election will decide that. But for Devendra Fadnavis, who had to swallow the bitter pill when Eknath Shinde became the chief minister, and he was compelled by the High Command in Delhi to accept deputy chief ministership, even though he said he'd like to be out of the government, but he was compelled by the High Command to take that role and, you know, be the number 2, be deputy CM in the government. But of late, given the parleys that have been held between the RSS and the BJP to sort out many things, and the RSS had reservations on many things about the functioning of the BJP, and they've been in talks together. As a result of that, it seems that Fadnavis's position has got strengthened. Of course, this election is very critical. If the Mahayuti does well, then it will be a feather in Fadnavis's cap also. Now, the question of leadership, will he be the chief minister? He's a Brahmin, not a Maratha. And Manoj Jarange Patil, who's led the agitation for reservation for the Marathas in Maharashtra, has targeted him relentlessly, saying he's a Maratha hater, he obstructed reservations for Marathas, and so on. He's not been so critical of Eknath Shinde or Ajit Pawar, the other 2 allies. So one of the reasons why Marathas are seen to be moving away from the BJP is that. But certainly the performance of the Mahayuti this time will have a bearing on Devendra Fadnavis's own political position in the party.
All right. And we'll see that. And in the coming days, Neerja, you will be giving us all the notes on Maharashtra elections and what's happening, what we are going to be expecting. And thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. And thank you, viewers. If you like this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, The Indian Express, and stay tuned for more such explainer videos with Neerja Chowdhury. And don't forget to share it with your friends. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Thank you, Neerja.